Freedom of expression, its limits, and its value in times of disguised censorship. We live in a contradictory era. It has never been easier to speak, but never more dangerous to be honest. Opinions have become weapons. Jokes have become crimes, and disagreement has become offensive. Freedom of expression is a human right. It is not a concession from the state. It is not a favor from authorities. It is the essence of liberty. Yes, freedom has limits, but the limit is the law, not someone's mood, nor someone's sensitivity or the convenience of those in power. Today, you can't laugh. You can't criticize. You can't question. Who defines what's offensive when everything offends someone? If everything is a crime, then nothing is truly free. Freedom of expression is not absolute, but it must be respected as universal, because silencing someone today paves the way for your own silence tomorrow. Speak with respect, listen with maturity, but never stop thinking, questioning, and expressing yourself. Freedom of expression is not just a right, it's a duty for those who still believe in the future. Be a voice, not an echo. Freedom of expression is not hate speech. It is the free initiative to think, speak, and question. History is full of persecuted voices, but very few were truly silenced. Many were condemned and imprisoned because of freedom, but their ideas went further than any sentence. In the harshest regimes, what tyrants fear is not just an armed people, it's a thinking people, a speaking people. And today, have we evolved? Or did we just trade chains for invisible censorship? You can now be accused for a joke, sued for an opinion, cancelled for thinking differently. But the question remains, did the persecutors of the past succeed in stopping the truth? The answer lies in time. Freedom of expression is not a license to harm. It's the space where we grow. It's where the world evolves. Not in unanimity, but in the clash of ideas. Every time a voice is silenced, the world grows darker. Every time someone resists and speaks, the future gains color. Be the voice that thinks, that provokes, that transforms, because the ideas that change the world were always dangerous in the beginning. Since ancient times, truth has always made people uncomfortable, and those who spoke what was right almost always paid a price. In biblical times, Jeremiah was thrown into a cistern for saying what God commanded. John the Baptist lost his head for confronting the king. Jesus was crucified for speaking the truth that sets people free. History repeats itself. Galileo was silenced for challenging dogma. Mandela was imprisoned for dreaming of equality. Martin Luther King was assassinated for fighting for justice and equality. Many voices were silenced, but their ideas survived. Today, you can be judged for a post, cancelled for an opinion, persecuted for a joke. But is silencing really the solution? The persecutors of the past did not win. Not Rome, not Egypt, not the modern empires. Because truth never dies, it resurfaces, it blooms. Freedom of expression is not rebellion. It is maturity. It is courage. And those who walk with truth never walk alone. Every silenced voice is a generation muted, but every courageous voice inspires others to rise. That's how it was with the prophets. That's how it was with the martyrs. Speak with respect, but speak. Think with wisdom, but think. Because even God uses the mouths of the bold to change history. The voice that echoes truth will never be forgotten. It's not yours alone. It's part of something greater. Justice, faith, and freedom. In times of subtle censorship, speaking has become an act of courage. It doesn't matter if it's in the streets or online. Those who think differently are seen as threats. When the truth becomes uncomfortable, silence becomes state policy. We are no longer in the Inquisition. but there are trials without judges and punishments without due process. Today, the bonfire is digital. The new bonfire is clicks. The new courtroom is manipulated public opinion. Jesus Christ was hated for saying his kingdom was not of this world. Paul was imprisoned for preaching freedom. Today, those who speak eternal values become targets of current ones. Biblical truth is the first to be cancelled because it doesn't adapt. If you can't disagree, you are not free. If you can't speak, there is no democracy. If you need permission to think, that's already tyranny in disguise. There is no such thing as conditional freedom. What exists is control with a pretty name. Silence may avoid conflict, but it also feeds lies. The truth sets you free, but it comes at a cost. Every generation must choose between the comfort of lies and the glorious weight of truth. Be the voice that remains, even when the echo takes time to return. Because the world needs voices that won't be sold, won't bow, and won't be silenced. Truth always comes back, and when it does, it demands accountability from those who hid it. There are times when silence is crueler than a scream, and times when silence is betrayal of your own soul. Silencing out of fear is different from being silent out of wisdom. Only one protects, the other imprisons. The prophets were not welcome, nor the truth they carried, but time proved they were right, and the kings wrong. The majority is not always right. They're just more numerous. The world persecutes those who do not bow, but God lifts up those who do not compromise their conscience. Those who speak the truth may lose followers, but gain purpose. Jesus knew he would be crucified. Still, he spoke because his silence would have been our condemnation. Christ did not die silent, and you are not called to be neutral. Today, the new religion is opinion, and the new God is approval. But those who fear the eternal God do not fear crowds. Freedom of expression begins where the fear of disapproval ends. Hate speech is when the freedom to speak is interrupted. Don't speak out of vanity. Speak out of truth. Speak with faith. And if needed, speak alone, because heaven listens. Even when earth rejects, heaven hears those who speak with courage, even if no one applauds.